Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Did you know that the language you use can actually shape your life? It can influence your money decisions, your travel decisions, and your experiences in your existence on this earth. Now, some of you are probably using this limited language today in your life. Some of you may be using it with your children. Some of you may have experienced it growing up from your parents, just like me. Now, I've been living and working abroad for more than 19 years. Now, I believe a big part of this is the fact that I've managed to cut out some of these limiting language phrases, and the change it can make in your life is drastic. So today, in this video, I'm going to give you my top 5 that I think you need to cut out if you want to move on in your life. Now, by the end of this video, you're going to know what they are, but you're also going to know what words you should be using to replace them. So let's go right at the start, the very first one. Now, this one I heard countless times from my mum when I was growing up. Think of a situation when you're young, into a toy shop, bookstore, whatever it may be, bakery, okay? And as a kid, you really want something. And your mum says to you this: money doesn't grow on trees. Money doesn't grow on trees. Okay, that is number one. This common phrase creates a scarcity mindset, a mindset that basically dictates your view on money going forward into the future, unless you change it. Instead of saying money doesn't grow on trees, why don't you understand the fact that it is a challenge to get money, but think of ways in which you can get it. There are endless ways to make money. You just need to find the right strategy. Okay, now as a kid, that could be doing chores around the house. It could be cleaning cars, right? It could be cleaning the dishes. It could be washing the dog. It could be walking the dog. Wherever it may be, these are what I teach my kids today. Okay, so, Daddy, this is too expensive. Money doesn't grow on trees. My kid's just going to, boom, quit. But if I say, yeah, it's expensive, but what can you do to get it? How are you going to reach your goal? What things can you do to help, to make money? Then they start thinking, right? And that's the attitude that creates possibilities. There's no walls in front of them that are blocking them. They don't think it's impossible. They can have this creative mindset, this problem-solving mindset, which I think is lacking today. Number 2, that's too expensive. Okay, so let's say you want to buy a car. Let's say it's a new computer. Could be a new phone, right? It could be your children want to buy a computer game, want to buy a teddy bear, whatever it may be. That's too expensive. What do you think this shuts down in your life? Well, I'll tell you, it shuts down creative thinking and problem solving, because that's too expensive is like closing a door. So instead of thinking or saying that's too expensive, why don't you think like this? How can I afford this? Now, successful people in this world often look for ways to make money, right? Investing, maybe it's creating extra income streams. They're always looking for ways to make money. Maybe it's improving themselves, their skills, self-improvement, right? To get to the next level. These are all the things that you have to think of in your mind. So it's your mindset and it's the words that you use. Number 3. Now, number 3 is pretty important because it relates to me. Okay, so obviously, you know, I've been living abroad for so long. Whenever I come home and I tell some of the stories, right, like going to the Great Wall of China, like traveling to Vietnam or Malaysia or China or Japan alone, sitting in a restaurant all by myself when all other people are with their families, feeling like you're completely the odd one out. Family often say to me or friends, you know, oh, I could never do that, or I could never move abroad. That's the next one. I could never move abroad. This is one of the biggest gripes that I have, okay, with going home, because the people that say I could never move abroad are scared of change, okay, but they're unaware of this, but they're scared of change. A fear of change could be related to the expense. Maybe they think it's too expensive, or maybe it's just a fear of change itself, okay, going to a new place, getting out of their comfort zone, right? Something that is different. If you imagine you work a 9-to-5 job in the UK, you've been doing it for 10 years, and then suddenly you have an opportunity to move abroad, solo traveling, and start a life, it's a big, big change, right? And for some people, that change is very, very scary. So their mindset has been created to limit that. Now, the reality actually for me is it is a lot cheaper to live abroad now than it is to go back home to live in the UK. So if you're thinking today to yourself, I'm sick and tired of the way things are in the UK, I can't cope, instead of this block, this wall in front of you that says, oh, I can't move abroad, or I could never move abroad, why don't you change your mindset to thinking of the steps you need to take to make it happen, right? What steps do you need to take to be ready, to be prepared, in order for you mentally to be able to go there? All right, the next one is something that I hear a lot these days from British people, maybe American people too, I'm not sure, but I hear it a lot on YouTube. It is what it is. Now, I don't like it. It is what it is. It's basically like saying, accept it. Don't complain, just do it. Now, I have never lived my life this way. I think this is like a passive mindset, It's passive thinking. It creates this idea that you don't need to solve the problem because the problem cannot be overcome. Now, instead of thinking to yourself, it is what it is, why don't you just say to yourself, how can I change this? What can I do to change this? So people that are able to shift this mindset can make changes in their life, and they'll find new ways to improve their situation. Number 5, what if something bad happens? This is a kind of mindset that is looking at the negative, right? What if something bad happens? People often only imagine the worst case scenario. They don't think about the best case scenario. They only think of the worst case scenario. Again, this goes back to a fear of change. Now, on this channel, I'll tell you truth, no lies. It is true. Something bad may actually happen if you travel abroad, or if you go out of your comfort zone, or if you do something that is going to be very difficult. Something bad might happen. Yeah, I'm not denying that. But also, something great might happen too. And if that something great happens to you, you will forever be grateful that you took that decision. Now, my wife is Korean. My children are British Korean. I have managed to start a life here in South Korea. I live here. It's kind of like my second home, right? If I didn't take that initial step, I would never be in this position right now today. So I am so grateful that I took that chance. But if I was to think to myself, well, what if something bad would happen to you, Paul, if you went to South Korea? I probably never would have taken the chance. I probably never would have stepped onto that airplane, and I wouldn't be here today. So my advice to you all, if you're using this, or if you hear this, what if something bad happens? Why don't you change that mindset a little bit, right? Say to yourself, well, what if something amazing happens? That is the way to think. Now, final message to you here before I end this video. If there are people in your circle, that means people around you. Now, obviously family, they can be like this. So you can try to change them, right? Try to teach them the different way of thinking. If it's friends around you that are negatively affecting you with this mindset and holding you back, my advice to you all is, if you cannot change these people, distance yourself, because the people that surround you can also affect the way you think. So, the phrases that I've covered today can ruin your life. They can make you feel stuck. They can hold you back. They can result in missed opportunities. So don't forget, changing your language, going from limited to limitless, can change your whole life. So I'm curious, before I go, which of these phrases that I've mentioned today have you caught yourself using? Put them in the comments below. Thanks for watching today. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and I'll see you next time.